Your manager gives you a task, everyone else nods, and you have no idea what to do next.
Do not guess and hope for the best, because one polite question can save hours of wrong work.
Welcome back to Learning English Together, where I am David, and I once misunderstood a one-line email for an entire afternoon.
And I am Anna, and today we will clarify a real assignment without sounding careless.
We will practice 4 powerful phrases. Just to clarify, let me make sure I got this right. When do you need this by? And I'd rather ask than guess.
You will also learn how to ask for an example, confirm a deadline, and correct a misunderstanding professionally.
Stay for the final review, when we will turn a confusing message into a clear plan.
Let's open the email that started all the trouble.
At 9:10 on Monday, my coworker Maya writes, "Please update the client report and make it more useful."
More useful could mean many things, so this is the moment to ask.
My first idea was to reply, "I do not understand anything," but that sounded a little dramatic.
Much better is, just to clarify, which part of the report would you like me to update?
Just to clarify, which part of the report would you like me to update?
Good, and if Maya mentions a new process, you can ask, could you walk me through it?
Could you walk me through it? Or does that make me sound like I was not listening?
It sounds responsible when instructions are unclear, especially if you add what you understand.
Then I could say, "I understand the sales numbers, but what do you mean by a more useful summary?"
Exactly, because what do you mean by asks about one specific unclear phrase.
Am I right in thinking that Maya wants a shorter summary for the client?
That confirms your current understanding without pretending you are certain.
Last month, I guessed what cleaned up the report, meant and removed 3 charts, but Maya only wanted new colors.
That disaster had 3 steps: a vague phrase, a silent guess, and wasted work.
So this time I will ask, could you give me an example of the kind of summary you want?
Perfect, because one concrete example can make an abstract instruction clear. Let us review 5 phrases from that confusing Monday email. Phrase 1 is just to clarify, which politely checks meaning.
For example, just to clarify, should I update every page or only the summary?
Repeat after me, just to clarify. Phrase 2 is, could you walk me through it, which requests a step-by-step explanation.
For example, could you walk me through the export process?
Repeat after me. Could you walk me through it? Phrase 3 is, what do you mean by, which identifies one unclear idea.
For example, what do you mean by a more useful summary?
Repeat after me. What do you mean by? Phrase 4 is, am I right in thinking that, which checks your current understanding.
For example, am I right in thinking that this version is for the client?
Repeat after me. Am I right in thinking that? Phrase 5 is, could you give me an example, which requests something concrete.
For example, could you give me an example of the tone you want?
Repeat after me. Could you give me an example? Active recall. Maya says, make the introduction stronger. How can you ask what stronger means?
You can say, just to clarify, what do you mean by a stronger introduction?
Excellent, because that question is polite and specific.
At 9:30, Maya says, copy the numbers, check the regions, and then use the new template.
3 steps arrived quickly, so do not trust memory alone.
I could say, sorry, could you go over that again?
Yes, and then narrow the conversation with, which part should I focus on first?
Maya says regional differences matter most, but does she mean this month or the quarter?
Ask a choice question. Do you mean this month's figures or the full quarter?
Do you mean this month's figures or the full quarter?
She answers, the full quarter, and now you can summarize instead of asking another open question.
Let me make sure I've got this right. I copy the quarterly numbers, compare the regions, and then move everything into the new template.
Excellent, because you repeated the steps in your own words.
So the first step is to copy the quarterly numbers from the dashboard.
Right? And saying, so the first step is, turns a long explanation into one clear action.
Yesterday, I got directions while the printer beeped, my phone rang, and someone asked about lunch.
You mixed up the order and started with step 3, so today you are taking notes.
Now Maya can correct me immediately instead of finding a mistake at 4.
Exactly. And this method works whenever instructions have several steps. Here are 5 phrases for confirming a process. Phrase 1 is, could you go over that again? Which requests repetition.
For example, could you go over the last 2 steps again?
Repeat after me. Could you go over that again? Phrase 2 is, which part should I focus on? Which identifies the priority.
For example, which part should I focus on before lunch?
Repeat after me. Which part should I focus on? Phrase 3 is, do you mean A or B? Which offers 2 meanings.
For example, do you mean the draft or the final version?
Repeat after me. Do you mean A or B? Phrase 4 is, let me make sure I've got this right, which introduces a summary.
For example, let me make sure I've got this right. I checked the data before I changed the layout.
Repeat after me. Let me make sure I've got this right. Phrase 5 is, so the first step is, which confirms your first action.
For example, so the first step is to download the quarterly file.
Repeat after me. So, the first step is active recall. What can you say before repeating 3 quick instructions?
Say, let me make sure I've got this right, and then summarize the actions.
Great work, because summarizing shows attention and invites correction.
At 10, the task is clearer, but I still do not know when Maya expects it.
A clear task without a deadline can still create a surprise.
I will ask, when do you need this by?
Good, because by asks for the final deadline.
Maya says, before the client call, but there are 2 client calls on the calendar.
Then use the earlier skill. Just to clarify, do you mean the call today at 3 or the call tomorrow morning?
She means today at 3, so I also ask, what format would you like?
Excellent, because she might want a spreadsheet, slides, or an email.
Should I include the old charts, or should I only use the new regional table?
That question identifies the scope and prevents unnecessary work.
Is there anything else I should know before I begin?
This gives Maya one final chance to mention a detail, and she remembers that the client prefers percentages instead of raw totals.
Last spring, I sent a beautiful presentation at 5 and learned the meeting had been at 2.
The work was good, but its deadline, format, and audience were never confirmed.
This time I say, I'll send you a draft first, so you can check the direction before I finish.
Smart, because an early draft catches misunderstandings while they are easy to fix. Let us review 5 phrases for deadline, format, and scope. Phrase 1 is, when do you need this by? Which asks for the deadline.
For example, when do you need this by, today or tomorrow?
Repeat after me. When do you need this by? Phrase 2 is, what format would you like? Which checks delivery format.
For example, what format would you like, a spreadsheet or a slide deck?
Repeat after me. What format would you like? Phrase 3 is, should I include? Which checks task scope.
For example, should I include the charts from last month?
Repeat after me. Should I include? Phrase 4 is there anything else I should know? Which invites final details.
For example, is there anything else I should know about the client?
Repeat after me. Is there anything else I should know? Phrase 5 is, I'll send you a draft first, which promises an early version.
For example, I'll send you a draft first and make changes before the meeting.
Repeat after me. I'll send you a draft first. Active recall. You understand the task, but not the delivery time. What should you ask?
Ask, when do you need this by?
Exactly, because a confirmed deadline protects everyone's expectations.
At 11:30, I send Maya the first page, and she replies, the numbers are right, but I wanted the client version in blue.
This is the moment to correct the problem calmly, not defend the misunderstanding.
I can say, I may have misunderstood which template you wanted.
Good, because that acknowledges the issue without blaming anyone.
Then Maya points to the blue template, and I say, thanks for clearing that up.
That phrase closes the confusion positively.
I'll make that change now and send the revised page in 15 minutes.
Excellent, because you confirm the action and give a realistic next update.
Old David might have stayed silent and guessed again.
New David says, I'd rather ask than guess, because questions prevent repeated work.
So we're on the same page now. Blue template, quarterly data, regional table, percentages, and a draft before 3.
Exactly, and that final summary ends the conversation with confidence. Here are the final 5 phrases for correcting a misunderstanding professionally. Phrase 1 is, I may have misunderstood, which gently acknowledges confusion.
For example, I may have misunderstood which file you wanted.
Repeat after me. I may have misunderstood. Phrase 2 is, thanks for clearing that up, which shows appreciation.
For example, thanks for clearing that up. I understand the new deadline now.
Repeat after me. Thanks for clearing that up. Phrase 3 is, I'll make that change, which confirms the next action.
For example, I'll make that change and send a new draft.
Repeat after me. I'll make that change. Phrase 4 is, I'd rather ask than guess, which makes clarification responsible.
For example, the client names are similar, so I'd rather ask than guess.
Repeat after me. I'd rather ask than guess. Phrase 5 is we're on the same page, meaning everyone shares one understanding.
For example, great, we're on the same page about the deadline and format.
Repeat after me. We're on the same page. Active recall. Your coworker shows you the correct template. How can you thank them?
Say, thanks for clearing that up. I'll make that change.
Quick fire recap. Just to clarify, let me make sure I've got this right. When do you need this by? And I'd rather ask than guess. Today's best phrase is let me make sure I've got this right, because it turns a long explanation into a shared plan.
Next time, we will practice what to say when a meeting runs late and you need to leave politely.
Thanks for learning with Anna and David, and we will see you in the next episode.